Dream Home Season 5. We have picked up about 50 houses from all across Kerala, and we are looking out for that ideal dream house. To help us find that, we have with us Arun Vidyasagar, who is an architect and interior designer, and Anna Kuruvilla, who is also an architect and interior designer. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before we move on to the visuals of the house today, I'll ask you a simple question. What do you think about pest control in houses as well as buildings? How do you do that?
Pest control is usually done in two stages. One would be before you start with actual construction. Second can be either before doing the flooring, or sometimes even after doing the flooring, before you finish the walls, before you put on a final coat of paint or something. So before the structure starts, at the excavation stage, we get chemicals that are diluted with water, and then it's sprayed in the excavation trenches. This is done commonly for structures with shallow foundation, like rafts or rubble or masonry foundation, etc. But for pile foundation, we cannot do that. Mm-hmm. So for those projects which have piles, we do this at the stage when the PCC is done for the floor. That means just before you fill in the plinth level with concrete, plain cement concrete, so that the flooring can be done. It's poured into the earth that is filled in. The third option is doing after the project is done. It can be after you start staying in it, because all pest control methods have a guarantee period or a effective period of maybe 10 years or so, and sometimes based on the water content in the soil, it may even come down. Mm-hmm. So you can always engage agencies who come into the scene, and they have pellets which can be drilled into the walls. They have spray applications, etc., etc. So this is the general method that is followed.
So let's look at the visuals of the house, the contesting house for today. It's called Thackuvayil from Etttumanoor. It's a 4,000 square feet house. Let's see what creative things that they have done to that house.
Hello friends, and welcome to Idea Dream Home Season 5. I'm standing in front of Thackuvayil house in Etttumanoor, Kottayam district. It's a 4,000 square feet house built in the traditional style. To start about the detailing, first of all, they have a big enough lawn space, buffalo grass, so it's good enough natural vegetation around the house. The front gate leads us to a small, long enough pathway directly to the car parking area. The landscape area is big and they have well maintained it. They have used actually buffalo grass throughout. The natural vegetation goes around the house. The front compound opens up to the gate, a long pathway that leads us directly to the car parking area. They have a pathway like this going around the perimeter of the house. The flooring used is granite, a golden tinge shade of granite. Now you can see a lot of windows, so I believe there's ample amount of ventilation and lighting inside. The car parking areas comfortably blend in with the house. To talk about the detail in the car parking space, well, it's a high elevated space, and from the inside itself you can see the design on the tiles. It looks very pretty actually. It's a dome-like structure, and the tile design is very nice. In the ceiling space for the entire area, they have done wooden paneling. A lot of hanging lights have been put, which gives a very attractive look. So that was all about the exteriors. I'm really excited to see the interiors. Let's just quickly go in. We take a right from the entrance and enter the official living area. The flooring done in the complete house is granite. Then, as we saw outside, there are a lot of windows provided, which helps in ventilation and lighting. Now, this is a high elevated living space. L-shaped sofas line up the living area. Opposite to me is the center courtyard space. Actually, it's quite transparent. The house is very open and transparent. I can see the all bedrooms, then the kitchen space, dining area, everything is quite visible from this particular portion itself. I'm at the center courtyard space. The ceiling they have done pergola design that's covered by the polycarbonate sheet, which has helped a lot of light to enter this particular area. With the flooring used in this particular space is actually vitrified tiles, apart from like the granite flooring that has used completely. Then standing at this particular place, I can see, if I take a look around 360 degree, I can see the complete house. We have the living area where I just came from, official living space. Then the 4 bedrooms, every bedroom is quite comfortably visible. You can also have the dining area, next to that is the kitchen. So all the areas are quite visible from this particular place itself. The dining table is made of strong teak wood. It's a glass top table. They have crockery shelf right next to it. This pathway leads us to a small area, that's the wash area. Then right next, adjacent to the wash area, we have a common toilet. This is the family living area, the relaxation corner for the family people. The flooring used in this particular space is vitrified tiles. It's also the TV viewing section. They have used vitrified tiles in all the bedrooms. To talk about the detailing of the master bedroom, well, we have windows on either sides which helps in the cross ventilation and lighting. There's also a study table and a built-in wooden wardrobe. They have a dress area that's attached to the bathroom. Talk about the details of the kitchen. First of all, I'd like to highlight the color scheme. That's mostly brown. They have actually a pinch shade of red is used for the granite slabs. Then the grid cabinets are provided above and below. It's actually connected kitchen. The main kitchen with the work area, it's connected. Even the wall tiles used go with the same color scheme. They have windows which helps in the cross ventilation in the kitchen space. Flooring is vitrified tiles. They have a small sit-out area on the sideways. This door actually opens up to the dining area. The flooring used in this particular space is white vitrified tiles. So that was all about Thackuvayil house from Etttumanoor, Kottayam district. This is me, Abel, signing off.
Coming to the exteriors, I personally felt that it was underutilized. I don't know what you thought about it. Arun, we'll start with you.
See, it's a single story house and it covers 4,000 square feet.
Yeah.
That means it covers a fair amount of area on the ground. They have a very large property and it's in levels. We see the driveway that drives up into the platform level where the house is located, and there's a lot of area on the right side which is kind of lower from the platform level. The area that is lower from the platform level is kept almost as it is. It's just leveled along the gradient, and then a natural buffalo grass is grown. It means you don't have to put so much effort into growing that. It's a very maintenance-free solution. They have not gone for any loud landscaping other than potted plants inside on the sides of the driveway. Besides that, the plot is probably as it is, and nothing else is done. Even in the platform level where the house is located, you don't see much of greenery around. Probably they are just growing into place. The main thing you see in the floor area is the paving. That's the only loud thing that continues right from the gate till the porch. The house is a slow-proof treated house. It is tried to be in a traditional way, but it's not entirely traditional. It just has slow-proof. And one thing you notice is there is a large veranda in the front which turns and travels to the sides. You don't get a lot of shade with the slope roof which they have provided. They should have gone for a little lower roof, or they should have something to cut down the sun at probably at 7 feet or 7.5 feet level, so that you get little more shade on the verandas. But it's a fair design what they have gone for, and it's standing subtle with the surroundings.
Anna?
It's got a very simple elevation, but I feel the height of the roof is almost double the size of the first floor. I mean, the only floor they have. They could have brought it a little. I feel a lot of space is wasted above. Even if it's a single floor, they've created a void in the upper floor, which they could have used it for some other purpose. They've used the Mangalore tiled roof, which is good. But again, the verandas around the house, I don't think it's wide enough for such a big house. And like he said, I don't think they keep the rains away. I don't think they're protected. They have a long driveway and a very minimal landscape, but nothing looks bad. It just looks like a very simple, nice house.
So moving on to the interiors, does the simplicity kind of smoothly transitions into the interior? What do you think?
It does. They have not gone for very heavily furnishings. One thing you'll notice is there is no other color in the house. The walls are just the same throughout. That's one good thing actually. They've tried to go about the traditional route with the courtyard in the center and a plant. It's a miniature banyan tree, the garden banyan tree which we call. And one of the views have an arched wall area which kind of frames it from the living space when you look at it. So that's a very interesting thing. And then one thing you notice in the living area, there is two kinds of furniture. One is with the wooden edges and legs, that is very kind of classy. But the next one is like a little bulkier divan kind of seating that converts into an L-shaped seat. These two look different. Probably they could have continued with the same character of furniture throughout in that space continuously. But other than that, I think the space is done very simply. I mean, they have not gone for any heavily wall decorations or anything, heavily done wall decorations or anything. And the next space is the dining room. It's not a room as such, it's facing the court. So there is a definite connect between all the spaces. So that's also very simply done, and the chairs are also very elegant, simple and elegant. They have a very decently done crockery shelf. The kitchen is also very neatly organized. You don't see anything out of place, and that even the tiles in the wall is following a very simple linear pattern. So I think it's a very well finished house, very well planned, and there's a lot of open space. The 4,000 square feet is really felt in the common area.
So what about you, Anna? Would you like to add something to the
central courtyard? There is a lot of light, and sort of you get a lot of positive energy at that place. Although they've just kept a lone tree with a in a pot, it's still attractive. Not in terms of the tree is not, but the space is big and the space is connected to all the other rooms around it, so that is good. I feel the living room, the number of pieces of furniture is a little too much. They could have reduced the number, and they've carried with some old furniture, which is on the heavier side. And even I like that arched. There's one view, I think, from the living room through the courtyard, through the arch window to another window outside. Kitchen again is good, but wood is on the darker side. There's too much of brown color inside the kitchen. Other than that, there isn't, again, just like the elevation, there isn't anything that's too wrong in that space.
So coming to decor, color and lighting, Anna, what is your impression about the house?
The curtains, they are again of the old style. I don't think people don't go anymore with the 3 layers of curtain, the valance, the main curtain and the sheer, which is difficult to maintain, it's costlier. They have such a beautiful plot. I'm sure just a sheer and a little bit of main curtain would have done the trick. And the colors in the old furniture, they need to reupholster, make it simple like the rest of the house. Otherwise it's a very simple house, but soft furnishing need to be addressed.
And how about you, Arun? What do you think?
They've done it very simply. Means they have not tried on too much of color. Even fabrics.
They played it very safe.
Very safe. The house is really open, and all of the space is open into the courtyard. So that is the decor of the house actually. It connects every space with the light that it brings in. And like what she was saying, the curtains are actually outdated. Even the furniture are a bit dated. It's a safe choice for them. Probably they would have had some kind of house, or they might have seen or lived in a similar kind of house, and then they wanted the same thing. Because very rarely do people build single-story houses these days. And single-story houses with a courtyard is a very definitely a very nice place to be. And this house is just like that. The light is the decor.
Okay. And the final category is ambience. Arun, what is your impression?
The ambience is just average. I would not say it's so great or anything. The exteriors are very simply done. They have to do a bit of refreshments onto the exteriors, like to cut down the scale. The roof feels like it's a little up. So some kind of character on the lower level to break that height could have been done. Or maybe they might do in time to come. Same with the interiors. Everything is kept very simple. No experimentations of any kind is done. So the ambience, both exterior and interior, are very, very pleasant. Not too loud, not too dull. It's just average and pleasant.
Okay. And Anna, what would you say?
I would say it's simple and ordinary,
Okay.
but nothing too wrong, nothing too bad.
Okay. Now let's score the house on individual categories. Arun, we'll start with you. How much have you scored the exterior?
Exteriors are very simple. They have not tried anything. Means they have a lot of scope to improve on the house. Landscape is improvable. Even the driveway and everything has to be put into little more exercise to reach to a very appreciable level. Now I think I'll score them 18.
18 out of 25. And Anna?
I would also give them 18. The house is located in such a way that I think it's very visible from the house, from the road, and they have enough space in front for some sort of landscape, maybe a small gazebo or a small pathway, something like that. But in spite of that, it doesn't look bad, so I've given them 18 on 20.
And how about the interiors? How much have you scored?
I've scored another 18 for them.
Arun, how about you?
Again, the interiors are done decently. I would say they could have put a little more effort in updating the interiors. What they have done is probably 10 or 15 years back. That was the in thing in those times. And now you have possibility to do a lot more. And a little bit more research should have been done. But though it's a little outdated, it doesn't go bad.
It's still functional.
It's still functional and it's still done really well. So I think I'll give them 18.
Okay, and how about the decor, the color and the lighting in the house?
Decor again, they have not tried too much. Like earlier what I told, light is the decor in the house. So, because it spreads through all the common areas and it lightens up all the areas with whatever little furnishing they have done. And even the wood color looks bright because of the light inside. Otherwise it would have been dark. The kitchen, like what she was saying, it's a little darker than the other space because the light doesn't hit it.
True.
So I think I'll give them 17.
17 out of 25. And Anna, how about you? How much
They
have you scored?
should change the color, the decor, and then also the curtains to make it a little more simpler, in tune with the house. I would give them 17 on 25.
25. And so that brings us to the final category, that is the ambience. Arun, how much have you scored?
I have given them 18.
18. And Anna, how about you?
I've also given them 18 because in spite of all these little things, even if it's on the lower side, ambience wise, I'm sure it's a good space that you'd like to linger on a little more because of that natural light streaming in. And I'm sure it must be comfortable with such a slope roof on top of it.
So the judges have spoken their mind. Both Arun and Anna have given 71 out of 100. The public has given 36 out of 50. So that brings us to a grand total of 178 out of 250. A dream house symbolizes the people who stay in it. So choose your exteriors and interiors wisely. Keep watching your favorite show, Idea Dream Homes Season 5 for more tips and suggestions. Till then, stay safe.